Hey, what up everyone? I'm Sinnycool, and this is Gems of War. And today I have two bounty teams for you, but I really want to give you some tips about bounty, like things not to do, and things that you should do, I guess. Mostly things you should not do in bounty. But here's the first team. I always try to make a new team for the first like 8 battles, 8 to 12 battles. Just see if you can make a team that's a little bit faster at the beginning because Tigraki's kind of like the team, and you're always going to use it at the end, and it's never going to be replaced. It doesn't seem like so. If you're not using Tigraki, you're probably not doing the right thing. But if you want to try something new, the time to do it is in like the first 8 battles or so, where they're really easy, and maybe you can make those quicker with a different team and help the overall meta by making a new team that's a little bit faster at the beginning, where we can gain a little bit more like speed and then switch into the Tagraki team later on. So here's what I came up with, and I don't know, it's not any good after like battle 10 or so. So don't use this one don't be using this one on 20, please. Make sure you watch the whole video, and I got 2 teams on here, so use the second team, not this one. But after like I would say 8, really, 8 to 10, you should stop using this one. But the idea was like Wood Rhinex does splash damage, it turns red into green. Then I had the Excavator making the red so that it had more red to turn to green. And then the Nature Weird uses green and it does scatter damage. So hopefully the Wood Rhinex is killing something so that scatter damage hits harder. And then you have to use the Bounty Troop. We got this Priestess, and she just does like a barrier, destroys a column, or whatever. She explodes or destroys a column, does a barrier and some armor. She's no good. So I wouldn't try to make a team around her, but you have to use her, so it is what it is. But I'll show you the other team in a minute, but I wanted to go over some tips as far as like what not to do in bounty. The first thing you want to do or not do is search by NTY. So don't search any other way, basically. You want to type in on your search, when you're searching through your troops to make your bounty team, unless you already have your bounty team like saved somewhere and you can just copy paste it, which is probably smart. You want to type in like Nancy, Tom, Yo-Yo, NTY. If you type that in and then you search, it'll bring up all your bounty troops for some reason. I guess bounty, like NTY at the end of bounty, is the only combination of letters that would bring up like all the bounty troops. I don't know. Other people have like do like ×6 or times something, but I know NTY brings up all your bounty troops and only your bounty troops, and then you can choose from those. Because there's another tip: only use bounty troops. Don't use anything else. So search by NTY. That's the first tip, and then that brings up all your bounty troops. And then the second tip is, or the second no-no would be to not use only bounty troops, right? So if you're using any other troop that is not a bounty troop, you're doing it wrong. You want to use all bounty troops because that's how you get the most score. That's how you get the most out of each sigil. So you're going to want to have something like 4 bounty troops. Not something like, definitely 4 bounty troops. And another tip would be use the bounty troop of the week. So whatever bounty troop you get in the shop, you're going to want to use that one on the team because you have to. If you don't use the bounty troop, like it's the Priestess, the High Priestess, or whatever her name is, you got to use her or you're going to get less points. It just is what it is. There's no argument at all. You have to use the new bounty troop or you get less points. You're not getting the most out of each sigil that you bought. So you have to use 4 bounty troops, and you have to use the bounty troop of the week. That's why we're kind of like locked into Tigraki all the time, because there's only 3 slots that we have to use. Tigraki's is the best bounty troop in the game, because he does damage based on their armor, and he does true damage. So their armor's going to get higher and higher and higher, and he's going to hit harder and harder as they get higher and higher, and he's doing true damage, so he's not hitting like their armor at all. He's skipping right past it, so he's just the best bounty troop. So you already have 2 slots that you have to do. You got the Priestess and you got the Tigraki. So whatever you put outside of those 2, you kind of have to build into it. So you're going to do Corpse Mare, Ogress, Chris Turtle, Soldier of Wrath, Rift Links. You're going to do something like that, and that's about it. That's all there is. Because those are the only true damage troops. Ogress is one of the best mana generators. Chris Turtle's one of the best mana generators. You got to do something like that. So any other team is just baloney, unless you're doing it for the first like 8 battles and trying to, overall make it a little bit quicker by using something else. Because early on, Tigraki's probably not the best, like the first like 5 to 8 battles. But even then, he's pretty quick. But I don't know. I tried the other team just to try to make the overall meta a little bit faster, but who knows if it worked or not. You try it out and let me know. Or if you have any other teams that are fast in the first like 8 minutes. Anyway, some more tips of things. Here's the team, by the way. Ogress, Corpse Mare, Tigraki, and the new troop. You've seen it a million times. That's why I'm trying to give some tips while I do this. Another no-no in Bounty would be to, you know, let a Vow Raven run away or not to attack this Horned Hag. This is the level 20 battle, I think. If not, it's pretty similar. But the Horned Hag there, you want to attack her first if there's not a Vow Raven, because she'll summon. So the battle will be longer if you don't get rid of her first. So always cast your Tigraki on that Horned Hag and get her out of there first. That way she's not summoning at the end of the battle. And that can apply to other things. If you go to like Glut Maul was in one and he was devouring, if he keeps doing that to you, make sure you get him out of there with Tigraki first. So always attack the most dangerous enemy or the Vow Raven with your Tigraki first. And if they're all like the same danger level, then just whatever one has the most armor, hit that one first. But yeah, always fully ascend your bounty troops. You got to have them fully ascended and fully traded. Always buy either 4 or 5 in the shop. Never don't do that. So if you're buying anything other than 4 or 5 in the shop, you're probably doing it wrong. If you're attacking anything other than the most dangerous enemy or the Vow Raven, you're doing it wrong. Just trying to think of a couple more tips, but, you know. So NTY, right? NTY, search by NTY. Use all bounty troops, right? Always all bounty troops, fully ascended, fully traded. You have to use the bounty troop of the week, so the Priestess. Buy either 4 or 5 in the shop. 4, if you buy 4, you're going to have to use like 2 blue orbs to fully ascend the new troop. If you use 5, you only have to use 1. Anything else I think is not the right way to go. Maybe 6 would be okay and use 0, but, you know. Also attack the most dangerous troop on the other team. If you're using anything but Tigraki, you're doing it wrong pretty much. He's the fastest, especially on 20. So Tigraki with another true damage option with the new troop, and then Ogress pretty much. So if you're not using this team right here, you're probably doing it wrong unless you're using Rift Links or Soldier of Wrath. What else? You don't really use Skulls very much here. If you use Skulls, you're knocking off their armor, and then your Tigraki can't hit as hard, but you can kind of do that sometimes. It depends. Kind of depends, but... Oh, also, here's another one. Do not cast the new troop. Do not cast the new troop, because most of the time you're going to have something else up, and anything else has priority over the new troop. The new troop's not good. It doesn't have a good spell. Gives you armor. You can't do anything with that. You're not going to die, most likely, anyway. Gives barrier. You're probably not going to die. You're going to win pretty easily. You're not going to need a barrier or armor. Maybe if you're a lower level player... Some of these don't apply if you're like a super low level player because maybe you need something else to help you win. But in that case, you just stop. Wherever you start losing troops, that's where you stop, and then you just repeat that one over and over. So really, it still applies to you because you're just going to stop on like 13 or 16 or 15. So I guess that's another tip. If you start losing troops and you're having trouble, don't continue to go higher and higher and higher in the bounty. Just stop where you are, maybe take a step back, and then repeat that one over and over and over. Just do what you can. Because if you're dying and losing troops, then you're obviously not a high-level player, and you're probably not, you know, you're just going to have to stop somewhere and repeat whatever, like, at least try to get over 12, I guess. But if you're repeating 16, or you're repeating 12, or you're repeating 14, whatever it is that's comfortable for you to where you're not wasting sigils and losing. So if you start losing troops... like multiple battles in a row, you might want to stop and take a step back and repeat that battle over and over and over. Anyway, I thought I had more tips than that, but it is what it is. It's bounty. It's pretty much the same thing every time. Let me know if you came up with the new team. Let me know what you think about the new troop. Chatathon tomorrow morning. I should have said that earlier in this video, but Chatathon tomorrow morning. Butt crack of dawn, 5 a.m. $1 every 3 minutes, $5 every 15. Let's go. Like, share, subscribe. Consider joining. Helps a lot. Tell your good about the channel down below. And I'll see y'all next time. Peace.